Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing with you a beach top that could also be made into a dress cover-up, perfect for the beach, perfect for this summer. For this project, we'll be using a category 1 yarn. I'm using the wool-like simile lane in the color rose. We'll also use a 3mm hook. We'll need some stitch markers, a tapestry needle for weaving in the ends, measuring tape, and a pair of scissors. For this project, we'll be working with granny squares. This is how a finished granny square should look like. First, let's start from the middle. With your 3mm hook, we'll be working a magic ring or a magic circle. We'll take your yarn and wrap it around 3 fingers like this. Now we'll remove the circle from our fingers. You'll take your hook, insert your hook through the magic ring, and draw up a loop. Now we'll hold the ring with our other hand, switch it back, and chain 1. Open up the ring, insert your hook, and work 1 single crochet. Now continue to work 9 more single crochets in the round. Once you've completed 10 single crochets in the ring, pull the tail slightly and work a slip stitch onto the first stitch to join. Now you can pull the magic ring's tail to completely close the circle. On the next round, we'll work 2 double crochets on each stitch. This will give us 20 double crochet stitches on the second round. On the last stitch, we'll just slip stitch the first stitch to join. On the third round, we'll work 1 double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet the next stitch. Continue to chain 1 and double crochet each stitch in the round. On the last stitch, slip stitch through the first stitch to join. Next, you'll insert your hook under the chain space and work 1 single crochet. Chain 5 and work another single crochet onto the next chain space. We'll continue working 5 chains and a single crochet on the chain space in the round. On the last chain, we'll slip stitch through the first stitch to join. Next, we'll work 2 slip stitches onto the next chain, followed by a single crochet. Now, we'll chain 6. Single crochet into the next loop and chain 6. We'll be repeating this process for each loop, and I'll meet you back here at the end of this round. On the last chain, slip stitch through the first stitch to join. Next, work 3 slip stitches on the chain. Followed by 1 single crochet. Chain 4 and single crochet into the next loop. Continue to chain 4 and single crochet into the next loop in the round. On the last chain, slip stitch through the first stitch to join. For the next round, we'll work 1 double crochet through that first stitch, and then we'll be working on making the corners. On the next loop, we'll work 3 double crochets, chain 2, and work another set of 3 double crochets in the same loop. Next, we'll work 1 double crochet onto the next stitch, followed by 2 double crochets on the next loop. One double crochet on the next stitch, followed by 2 double crochets on the next loop. We'll repeat these steps for a total of 4 loops. On the next loop, we'll work the next corner. So we'll work 3 double crochets onto the next loop, chain 2, work another set of 3 double crochets, and work a double crochet on the next stitch. From here, we'll continue to work 2 double crochets in a loop, followed by a double crochet on a stitch for 4 loops, and then we'll work on the next corner. Continue to work this pattern in the round, and I'll meet you back on the last stitch. After the last 2 double crochet stitches, we'll slip stitch through the first stitch to close. Next, we'll work a double crochet stitch on the same stitch. We'll chain 3, referring to the 3 double crochets at the previous row. Insert your hook through the chain space and work 2 double crochets. Chain 2, work another set of 2 double crochet stitches, and chain 3. Next, skip 3 double crochet stitches and work a double crochet onto the next double crochet stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, and work a double crochet. Repeat this process of chain 1, skip 1, double crochet until you reach the next corner. On the next corner, we'll chain 3, skip 3 stitches, insert a hook through the chain space, and work 2 double crochets. Chain 2, work another set of 2 double crochets in the chain space, chain 3, skip 3 stitches and work a double crochet on the 4th double crochet stitch. So we'll repeat the process of chain 1, skip 1, double crochet until you reach the next corner. Continue these steps and I'll meet you back at the end of this round. On the last chain, we'll slip stitch through the first stitch to close. Single crochet on the chain. Now we'll be working double crochet puff stitches. Work a regular double crochet as usual, but leave a loop on the hook. Do this 4 more times until you have 6 loops on your hook. Once you have 6 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 6 loops, and then chain 2. We'll insert a hook into the chain space and work 3 double crochet stitches, chain 2, and work another set of 3 double crochet stitches in the same space. Chain 2, yarn over and work a puff stitch in the next chain space. Just like before, it will be 5 double crochet stitches to make 1 puff stitch. Once you have 6 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all loops. Chain 2, and repeat the puff stitches in the next chain space until you've reached the next corner. Once you've reached the next corner, we'll chain 2, insert a hook into the chain space, and work 3 double crochet stitches. Chain 2, and work another set 3 double crochet stitches. Chain 2, and just like before, we'll continue working puff stitches in each chain space. Repeat this process in the round. On the last stitch, insert your hook through the first stitch to close. Work 1 slip stitch and 1 single crochet on the chain. Work 1 double crochet on the chain space and chain 3. Insert your hook through the chain space and work 2 double crochet stitches. Chain 2, work another set of 2 double crochet stitches, and chain 3. Skip 3 stitches and work 1 double crochet in the chain space. Next, chain 2, skip the puff stitch and work a double crochet stitch in the next chain space. Continue to chain 2, skip 1 puff stitch and work a double crochet stitch on the next chain space. And I'll meet you back here at the next corner. Once you've reached the next corner, we'll chain 3, skip 3, and work 2 double crochet stitches in the next chain space, chain 2, work another set of 2 double crochet stitches, chain 3, skip 3, work a double crochet in the next chain space, and you'll continue this whole process in the round. On the last chain, slip stitch to the first stitch to close. Next, work 1 slip stitch on the chain, followed by 1 single crochet. Then you'll chain 2, skip 2 stitches and work 3 double crochets in the chain space, chain 2, work another set of 3 double crochet stitches, chain 2, skip 2 stitches and single crochet on the next chain. Now we'll work 5 chains, single crochet through the next chain space, and we'll repeat chain 5 and single crochet until the next corner. Just like before, once you've reached the corner, we'll chain 2, we'll work 3 double crochets in the next chain space, chain 2, work another set of 3 double crochet stitches, chain 2, single crochet through the next chain space, and repeat the entire steps again in the round. On the last chain, slip stitch onto the first stitch to close. Next, insert your hook to the next chain space and single crochet. Chain 3, insert your hook to the next chain space and work 2 double crochets. Chain 2, work another set of 2 double crochet stitches, chain 3, skip 3 stitches, and work 1 single crochet in the next chain space. Next, we'll chain 3, insert your hook through the next loop and work 1 single crochet. Continue to chain 3 and single crochet into the next loop and repeat this process until the next corner. On the next corner, you'll chain 3, work 2 double crochet stitches in the next chain space, chain 2, work another set of 2 double crochet stitches in the same space, and then chain 3. Skip 3 stitches and work a single crochet on the next chain space, and continue to chain 3 and single crochet in the next loop. We'll repeat this process in the round, and I'll meet you back here. Last chain, slip stitch onto the first stitch to close. This will now be our last round. Work 2 single crochets on the chain space, single crochet into the next 2 stitches, in the next chain space we'll work a picot stitch. So we'll work 1 single crochet, chain 5, insert your hook into that first chain, and slip stitch. That will be your picot stitch. Next, we'll work a single crochet in the same chain space, single crochet the next 2 stitches, and work 2 single crochets on the next chain space. Single crochet the next stitch and work 2 single crochets on the next chain space. Continue to do this until you've reached the next corner, and I'll meet you back here. Once you've reached the next corner, we'll do our next picot stitch. Single crochet and chain 5, insert your hook into that first chain and slip stitch. Single crochet into the same chain space and work 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, work 2 single crochets in the next chain, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and 2 single crochets in the next loop. Continue this process in the round. Once you've completed the round, slip stitch to join and bind off. There you have your first granny square. If you're making a top, proceed to make 13 more squares. If you'll be making a dress, all you need is 22 squares in total. If you happen to find the middle ring loose, just tighten it off and weave in the ends. Once you've completed all your squares, take 2 squares and place another 2 on top, right side up, like so, and we'll be working along the edge from the side to the neckline across. We'll first work on the right corner. Pick up your square and insert your hook through that picot stitch. Take your yarn and work 1 chain. Next, we'll be working slip stitches on each stitch. Continue to work slip stitches all the way to the top until you reach the next corner. Once you've reached the picot stitch, continue to slip stitch each chain on that picot stitch. And then continue to slip stitch each stitch until the next corner. Do this for each corner of the neckline and on the side, and I'll meet you back here. Once you've completed the side, the neckline, and all the way to the next side, continue to slip stitch the next square to the back and all the way up. On the next picot loop, Work 2 slip stitches and work 1 single crochet at the tip. Now we'll be doing the straps. Measure the length of strap that you would need. For me, I would need about 10 inches or 25 centimeters, which is about 48 chains. Once you've completed your chain, insert your hook through the front square's picot loop and work 2 single crochets. Chain 1, turn your work, and work 1 double crochet on each chain across. Once you've completed your double crochet, make sure the straps are not twisted. And single crochet into the next picot loop. Now we will continue to slip stitch each stitch across the back until you reach the next picot loop at the top. Repeat the straps on the other side and continue to slip stitch all the way in the round to join. Now we'll be adding squares to the bottom. Place 3 squares at the bottom of the first row and we'll be single crocheting each stitch across. Arrange the first square side by side . We'll grab our hook and insert it through the picot loop. Insert your hook through the next picot loop of the first row. Draw the loop through both picot loops and chain 1. Align both squares together and single crochet each stitch across. Once you've completed this row, your joining stitch should look like this. Insert your hook through both picot loops and work 1 single crochet. Next, we'll be single crocheting the next square along the next row. Place your next square along the next row and insert your hook through both picot loops. Work 1 single crochet through the picot loops and continue to single crochet each stitch across. Once you've reached the end of the row, work 1 single crochet through the picot stitch, release the back square and continue to work 1 single crochet through the next square while carrying along the bottom square. Align the next 2 squares together and single crochet each stitch across. Continue to align each square and single crochet along each row for the rest of the squares. Here, I've completed 3.5 squares, and I'll bring forward the last square like this. From the last stitch, I'll bring forward the last square, insert my hook through that picot loop, join it to the back, and continue to single crochet across. This will close my second row. Once we've completed this row, we'll continue to add squares, and we'll single crochet each corner like before. If you are making a top, all you need is one more square at the bottom to complete this project. If you're making a dress, then you would need to add a few more squares like this diagram. Once we've completed our top or our dress, it should look something like this. Next, we'll be working on the hemline. From the last stitch, chain 5, skip the next stitch and work a treble crochet on the following stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, treble crochet on the next stitch. Continue to chain 1, skip 1, and treble crochet until you reach the bottom tip of the dress or the top. Once you've reached the bottom tip of the dress or the top, you'll work 2 treble crochet stitches through the picot loop, chain 2, and work 2 more treble crochet stitches in the same space. Chain 1, skip 1, and continue to work the same pattern of treble crochet, chain 1, skip 1 throughout the entire hemline until you reach the next bottom point. Once you've completed the round, slip stitch through the first stitch to join. Chain 1, work 1 half double crochet through the chain space, 1 half double crochet on the next stitch, and continue to work 1 half double crochet along the entire row. Once you've reached the bottom tip, we'll work 1 half double crochet on each stitch, two half double crochet in the chain space, and continue to work 1 half double crochet on the following stitches. Continue to work half double crochet stitches in the round and slip stitch to join. Bind off, and we're done. Thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to see more tutorials like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Bye!